At this time, I'd like to invite Provost Raphael Bross and our commencement speaker, Mr. Rodney Adkins, to please join me at the podium. Mr. Rod Adkins is a Senior Vice President of Corporate Strategy at IBM, responsible for leading continuous transformation and for developing strategies that are linked to the plans for a new era of computing, new markets, and new clients. Rod serves on the board of directors for numerous organizations, including United Parcel Service, the National Board of the Smithsonian Institution, the board of directors of the National Action Council for Minorities in Engineering, as well as the Georgia Tech Foundation. Rod is a Georgia Tech alumnus with both bachelor's and master's degree in electrical engineering from Georgia Tech. In addition, today, he and his wife, Michelle, are proud parent of a new Georgia Tech graduate. Today, Rod is also receiving another Georgia Tech degree. In fact, the most significant honor a university can bestow is the honorary doctorate. At Georgia Tech, we hold these degrees very dear. Only 25 honorary degrees have been awarded in the Institute's 128-year history. Honorary degree holders include President Jimmy Carter, Atlanta Mayor Ivan Allen Jr., astronaut John Young, oil executive Pete Silas, and Senator Sam Nunn. Today, the Georgia Institute of Technology will confer its 26th honorary Doctor of Philosophy degree upon Mr. Rodney Adkins. Provost Bross, please hood Dr. Adkins. I have the degree here, and I want to read to you. It says, "The President and faculty of the Georgia Institute of Technology, to all whom presents may come, greetings. Whereas Rodney C. Adkins has made a profound impact on his industry and his community through his visionary leadership and more than 3-decade distinguished career at IBM, he has inspired and enriched the engineering profession through his involvement with professional organizations and institutions of higher education, and along with his wife, Michelle, has provided transformative philanthropy as well as extensive volunteer leadership service and counsel to his alma mater. Now, therefore, we do hereby confer the degree of Honorary Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and honors thereunto appertaining. In witness whereof, the signatures of the Chancellor of the University System and the President and Registrar of the Georgia Institute of Technology are hereto subscribed, and the seal of the Institute affixed. Given in Atlanta on the 14th day of December, 2013. Congratulations, Dr. Adkins.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
So, thank you, President. Thank you to the administration, faculty, staff, special guests, parents, family, and friends. But most importantly, congratulations to all of the graduates. As you can tell, I'm actually blown away. And I'm deeply touched by this recognition. And I'm actually really inspired and honored in being with you here today. You know, as I reflect, I can actually think back when I was actually sitting where you sat today. And at that time, I would actually describe myself as imperfection. Not perfection, but imperfection at its best. I wasn't savvy enough to be a politician. I wasn't gifted or talented enough to be an athlete, nor was I flamboyant enough to be an entertainer. But let me tell you something, I was special enough to become a hell of an engineer. Now, tech is a very special place for me for many reasons. You know, I invested early in a young lady by the name of Michelle while we were students here at Tech. And after graduation, we got married. And 30 years later, as of this month, I would say I've gotten a pretty good return on that investment. Now, we actually created a derivative from our investment. Our youngest son, Ryan, who is part of your class today. And I want to say thank goodness, Ryan, and a job well done. Now, parents in the audience, I think you'll know what I mean by this. Some of the best moments for a parent is when your child is born and when your child graduates from college. The only difference, when your child is born, you don't know how much it's going to cost you. But when your child graduates from college, you do know how much it will save you. So, Ryan, thanks for agreeing to let me speak today. But more importantly, thanks for all of the money you are about to save me by graduating. So thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. So, look, I don't think it would be any surprise that I'm a Georgia Tech graduate because I've actually been pulled to the state of Georgia since the beginning. And the state of Georgia has actually been like a magnet. My parents were between Virginia and Florida, and for some reason, I decided to show up prematurely, 2 months early, in Augusta. So since then, I've actually been in a hurry all my life. So I promise you I will hurry along with my remarks. I want to talk to you about a unique opportunity you have to make a difference in the world. Today, as you graduate, you actually join a strong pedigree of business leaders, technologists, and innovators. Each generation that has come before you has actually had a set of resources to really do something special, something great. And with those resources, they've done some very powerful things. And I want to give you a couple of examples. So in the 1900s, Henry Ford, he had resources such as electricity and oil. And with that, he created the first affordable mass-produced automobile, an innovation that transformed transportation. In the 1950s, Thomas Watson had resources like the transistor and software, and actually created the first general-purpose electronic computer, which was an innovation that radically changed business productivity. In the 2000s, Steve Jobs had resources like wireless and natural human technologies like voice and touch, and created the iPhone, which was an innovation that unleashed the pervasiveness of mobile access to information. And as we sort of look towards the future, I would actually argue that your generation has opportunities that will surpass all generations that have come before you, because your generation actually has the greatest resource of all time, and that resource is data. Now, what is data? You know, data is being generated from mobile devices. It's being generated from social applications like YouTube and Instagram. It's even in sensors in everyday objects that we deal with, household appliances, cars, traffic lights. This is also in addition to data that's being generated from medical devices or medical images like CAT scans, X-rays, and MRIs, and from new research and discoveries, and from business processes and various types of business applications. So data has truly become our new natural resource. And I wanted you to think about something for a moment. The total amount of data in the world is projected to double over the next 2 years. And another way to sort of think about that is by the year 2020, the total amount of data will be the equivalent of over 5 million books for me, for you, and every human on the planet. That's a lot of books. In fact, you are probably adding to the data natural resource right now. It turns out, you may not know this, but there are more than 70,000 photos uploaded to Facebook every minute. Now, I'd like to add to that data resource problem by taking a photo of this nice-looking audience. Okay, you on the left, smile. And what I will do with this photo is later you can find it, because I will make it available, hashtag Georgia Tech data. You can find it later, locate yourself, tag it, and you can retweet it. So now, this unprecedented growth of data has become a catalyst of a new era of innovation. And at IBM, we call this new era, or we refer to it as the cognitive era of computing, where more and more systems will have the ability to learn and deal with large amounts of data. And a really good example, and hopefully you saw this, was a system we built called IBM Watson, which was named after our company's founder. And this was the machine that played the top champions on Jeopardy in 2011. And of course, it won. As a matter of fact, this Watson system since 2011 has gone on to do some really interesting work, solving some really interesting problems in the areas of healthcare, retail, and transportation, and finance, just to name a few. So what does this mean for you? And I want to sort of put this in the context of when you think about the combination of data and this new era of computing, I think it's going to create some tremendous opportunities. So no matter what field you're going into, you can actually take advantage of this opportunity. Quick examples. In the field of healthcare, you can now analyze data from new research. You can combine that with medical records and patient records, and we now can make faster and more accurate diagnosis and prescriptions. Or in the field of agriculture, you can now analyze data from weather, soil, and crop to optimize when and how to plant and harvest. Or in the field of government and public safety, you can now analyze data from police records, environmental conditions, nearby events to help prevent crimes before they even happen. And in the field of cooking, believe it or not, culinary science, you can analyze data from billions of ingredient combinations to create recipes that have never been tried before. And it turns out my new favorite recipe involves cayenne pepper in a dessert. That's pepper in a dessert. And let me tell you, beyond flavor, it can actually bring out things in more than one way. So, those are some examples of the opportunities you have in front of you as you graduate, how you can use data as a resource to do some great things in whatever field you choose. But I would also say that this is about more than just career opportunities. This is about solutions for our world. And your generation has the resources and the technologies to help make the world a better place. In closing, I want to comment on your tech experience and how that experience will help you make a difference in the world. Today, as you walk across this stage, recognize that you are a product of an architecture that has been carefully framed since you arrived here at Tech. And there are 4 very significant parts of this architecture, and I refer to it as the heart, the body, the mind, and the soul. So first, the heart. You know, the tech experience has strengthened your heart because I know you realize that you did not get here alone. Whether it was help you got from your professors, your peer groups, family members, or financial help from a donor or others who have gone before you. Your heart should be warm and open to giving back, helping others, and carrying on the tradition. Second, the body. Now, over the course of time you've spent at Tech, I know the body could be a bit worn and weary from all of the late and sleepless nights, the stress from meeting your deadlines, and the various other stresses that come from the Tech experience. But today, your body should feel refreshed. You should find new vigor, and you are stronger now than you have ever been. Third, the mind. You know, the Tech experience has opened your mind. Your professors have challenged you to think, to create, to see things differently, to collaborate, to find solutions. My advice to you is after you graduate, continue to stretch your mind. Never be satisfied with your current knowledge. Stay relevant. Finally, the soul. One day, and it actually will be sooner than you think, you will realize that your days at Tech were some of the best days of your life. This experience will have played a significant role in molding your soul, the fabric and the essence of who you are as a human being. When you put these four parts together, the heart, the body, the mind, and the soul, you get the core of who you are today, because you have made the sacrifices by never giving up, even when things appear to be stacked against you. By dealing with this faculty and staff, who I am sure you will like better today since you don't have to deal with them anymore. And most importantly, by trading off having a good time for preparing not to have a hard time. This core of who you are will help you determine your role in making a difference. Now, I want to leave you with one of my favorite quotes from Joe Arthur Baker, who is an author and a futurist. And he said, "Vision without action is merely a dream. Action without vision passes the time. But vision with action can change the world." I want to thank you for your time, and I want to thank Georgia Tech for the privilege of being in this position today. Congratulations to all of the graduates for earning your degree for what it is, in my opinion, the greatest institution in the world. Now, I can't wait to see how you will go out and change the world. Because after all, to borrow a now famous phrase from your colleague, Nick Selby, we're at Georgia Tech. We can do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Adkins. A small token of our appreciation, and congratulations to you, Michelle, and Orion.
Okay, thank you.